What's going on, YouTube? Kyle here. So I just got a really quick YouTube video that I'm going to throw together for you guys, just on how I view and how I trade momentum. Of course, so let's just spot out our zones real quick, right? Just look left. If you see something crazy like right here, just already look left, right? You should, when you're drawing zones, you should already be looking left first. You shouldn't be looking just where we are. You should just say, okay, I can see this, so go left, start drawing a zone, and chances are price is already going to be in that area, right? And the next thing I'm doing, I'm going to spot this, so I'm going to draw a box across the screen, right? That's on 4 hour. And then, of course, if you're on your 1 hour, you're going to have a bunch of little itty bitty baby ones in between, right? So the reason for my YouTube video right now is the fact that I am in a trade. I've already closed most of my positions, but I have one running for a swing. So let's talk about it. So the first things first, we know that I like to trade around the 4 hour times. So for me, that's going to be 6 a.m., 10 a.m., 2 p.m., which is new daily, right? 6 p.m. Then it just kind of goes over again. 2 and then 2 a.m. Followed into 6 a.m. Yada yada yada. So this understanding that you're gonna have six 4 hour candles in one trading day is really helpful, because then you can set up, and if you don't see something clear in the morning, you just wait. So the way I like to trade momentum is, if I cannot see the direct momentum immediately, I do not trade. So if I have no chance of direction, where I don't know, if I second guess myself just once, then that's when I know that I'm not going to trade. So this morning when I woke up around 8 o'clock, I saw nothing based off of 4 hours. So I was like, okay, at least I didn't miss anything. So what I did was I waited till 10. And now, I don't typically like to take these as just a signal. However, the way this 4 hour candle left us off, with this doji looking guy rejecting this very strong zone, you definitely saw that. I see this too often where, okay, that's a typical reversal. So that wasn't enough confirmation for me. Even though right at 10, if we this is 10 o'clock right here. This was 10 right here. This new 15-minute bullish candle. So right at 10, we ended up making, new higher high, new higher low. But this wasn't enough confirmation for me. So I just said, I'm just going to wait. So by waiting, you can see what price ends up doing some more. Higher highs and higher lows. And you'll see in the thumbnail that my entry was here, right? So where do we pull? Where do you pull? Let's see what the hour was doing. When you look at the hour time frame, you can see that we just made a new higher low here. We broke above support, had a wick to go fill. Now another wick to go fill. Now it had a retest with another wick to go fill. This is confirmation. Okay, by now you had waited long enough and you said, wow, look at what happened. Price made another liquidity grab, broke above resistance, and we're in between zones. So that's where our handy dandy zones came in, and this is where your profit target looks, right? So my next zone was around the 6 pips just to this next zone. I ended up closing at 5 to 8 pips a position. So the way I gauged that was based off the hour time frame, because you see these wicks. Let's mute everything for a sec. The top of this wick, the top of this wick. As you can see, price blew through. It blew through. But when I'm doing this, early morning, midday, whatever, or early afternoon setups, the whole idea is the fact that I waited. I had a little bit more patience. And although I did not have 100% confirm just off of this doji candle, although this is a very good indication for reversals, that was my ideal confirmation. But then I didn't have what I typically am going to look for. I didn't have higher highs and higher lows yet. I didn't have confluence of direction yet. I didn't have anything. So I just waited a little bit. And by waiting, it paid off. Caught over 200 pips. Only by waiting for price to break structure as it did, and it made a new higher low. So if I'm going to make it a little bit easier for you guys, right? And now I'm going to clone this, right? I'm going to just clone it one more time. This is a higher low because why we broke resistance. Now resistance turns support, so it creates this new higher low, right? And then, of course, our higher highs. So part of my trading plan is spotting out if we have structure with higher highs and higher lows yet. If you don't really have higher highs and higher lows, you don't really have that history, price is generally just going to bob and weave between supply and demand. But in this instance, we had 4-hour potential confirmation for a nice, for this, as you can see in the 4-hour candle, potential for reversal. This is not momentum to me. This is not the way I like to trade momentum, but this is a very big confirmation for a reversal. I did not have higher high and higher low structure yet if it was higher time frame confirmed, so I waited. The 1-hour time frame was doing a beautiful setup, right? Boom, breaking above again, boom. And then this had the nice liquidity grab, boom. So this was my time to enter. My time to enter was there. In between zones. Let's put them back up. Back to our zone. Right now, I just, like I said, I have stop loss and profit. I mean, we can keep going. Who knows where we can keep going, right? The whole idea is the new daily is going to open. So spread's going to get probably around 5 pips, right? So that's never a good time to trade, is right when a daily candle opens. But when you look left, we can also reach this again, right? There's so many possibilities for a price wants to go. We can even just make a lower high and go back down. I mean, who knows? But for this idea, for how I took my momentum trade, the 4-hour time frame was a good giveaway, but we did not have the actual structure yet. So I waited for structure, right? I'm going to repeat myself a little bit, right? The 1-hour time frame, right? What did we have? A nice just setup. You can see this setup where all these hour candles are just setting us up. Boom, boom, rejection, boom. It's setting us up, right? It's very beautiful when price does this. You just let the chart do its thing. You let the chart do its thing and just wait. If no confirm, no trade. No confirm, no trade. Right? But this is getting a little clustered here. But I want you guys to visualize how I have this zone and this zone, right? Based off this 4-hour, right? These are the two main real structures, the very high and the very low. But then you go to the 1-hour, and you've got to have those zones kind of in between zones, those minor versus major. So what do we got? What do we got? We were in between a zone, right? This is the visualization. We were in between. So there's your next area. There's your next area for price to go from supply to demand, demand to supply, right? In between zones. Price is always going to go, when price is in momentum, and we're going to have these volatile pushes. But in order to know where price is at, or where it's going to go, this is where your pip count comes in, understanding zones. So this was my understanding of where my next zone was for my potential profit target, right? And although price did hit this zone, we did have a cross, right? So we do have a cross here. Bro, this was my initial entry. So we did break, above the resistance. We ended up making a new higher low. Boom, and now we have a cross. Now we have, this is a potential retest, right? Look at the 5-minute potential retest. Oh, this could be also possible rejection. This is where time, if you're not already in a trade, this is where price starts to mess with you. So when I'm trading, I'm always looking to get into the beginning of a 1-hour or a 4-hour and take entries off 5-minute or 15-minute. Sometimes 1 minute if I'm on a major zone and I'm spotting reversals. Like if the 1 minute's making lower lows and lower highs on a reversal, when I know price is going to make a push around a certain, like a market open, then I'll take entries off the 1 minute. But in this case, my entries were right as the 1-hour opened. Right as the 1-hour time frame opened. This was my time to get into the charts. because price is usually going to either make a push in the very beginning or the very end of a candle. So it's either going to be usually that last 15 minutes or it can be that beginning 15 minutes. Now, of course, there's no 100% when it comes to that. That's just a general idea of how you can view candles and how you can view price pushing, is that those pushes usually just, boom, they come. They come very quickly. As you can see here, like this was 30 minutes. In 30 minutes from 12 o'clock, boom, boom, price had already gone, 6 pips. For scalpers, that is already ideal what you're looking for, right? Like I have a 10 pip rule where usually if I hit 10 pips, then I just start closing down the majority of my entries. However, starting to get used to scalping the swing a little bit. So now we have the 7 pips was the next zone. I do have stop loss in profit. I think it was at 5 pips exactly. So it just missed where my stop loss was. So if it hits it, great. If it doesn't, awesome too. It's not going to be a big difference where I care too much. All the profit's profit, because I already caught a decent amount of pips this morning, opening up 6 entries. So yeah, I mean, it's just that I can stay on here all day. Like, I can stay on here all day and explain why I took this trade even more and even more and even more. But this is just a very simple generalization of how I trade, what I'm looking for, how my trading plan is divided. I recorded another video for you guys that I'm going to upload soon, probably today. It's just talking about the psychology and a little bit more about my trading plan. But, with breaking up all my days with understanding that price can make a push at all of these different times, you have a potential for every 4 hours for price to make a push. So if you set your trading plan around those higher time frames, you could be more relaxed. Like I woke up this morning very relaxed. I saw nothing. I got up at 8 anyways. I didn't see momentum. I said, okay, it's fine. It's early week anyways. It's only Monday, right? Don't expect the biggest pushes on a Monday. So I waited till 10, and it was just easy breezy at that point, waiting for price to make structure, and bada bing, bada boom. You get in for the trade only when you have specific confirmations, right? Like some of my confirmations here. This is part of my trading plan, which is also for the team, right? So Kyle, do not trade if, right? I have a headache, I'm mad, I'm sad. You just had an argument with someone. There is no confirmation of momentum. If you cannot spot momentum, no trade. No momentum, no entry. It's just that simple. If the 4-hour time frame is not telling me which direction price is going to go, I'm not looking to trade. Why? Because I want to trade around high probability times. I want to trade around times that are high probability. Right? Trade if you have higher time frame momentum. You have done your daily routines first. Currency meters in favor of trend. This is just a bonus. This is not like an exact thing. Right? You have a clear mindset. You can identify structure. You have plotted out your zones. You can see which direction momentum is going. Right? So when you are paying attention to your trading plan and we were waiting for higher time frame, we knew that, at least I knew, that price was potentially going to make a launch because of this doji style camera or candle. This is a very, very common, it happens quite often, these types of candles on, potential reversal zones, right? Like you see we came back to the zone already. So we've got some nice premium price. Let's look to see if there actually is any other ones. Here you can see another one, and this is on a 4-hour, so they're usually bigger, right? Just tap the zone, launched back down, and what did it do? It just did the exact same thing again, right? Boom, boom, boom. Typical reversal style patterns off a higher time frame. This is even close to one with a wick to go fill, right? Looking at just dojis, and this is only UJ, guys. This is only USDJPY. Here's another good one here. Another good one, not as long as a wick, but you can definitely see this doji, and look what happened. Boom, tanked on the next 4-hour. That was actually 6 a.m., so right for a 6 a.m. push. Here's another potential doji here, right? Look, boom, reversal. So it's just a very common reversal candle, although I did not have structure yet. So that's why I waited for structure. I waited for pullbacks, right? I waited for price to make the pullback. I waited for price to break structure and then made a pullback, and then my entry started going. I did get a little greedy and I put a couple one prematurely, and then I stacked some more on the pullback, right? And now that we have touched this zone, you can see price is making what's to look like a 2-1 confirm. Potential more liquidity. It might just leave time for the EMA to catch up. Might bounce off the EMA. I mean, who really cares? Like, I'm not looking to trade anymore at this time. I'm done. Once this happens, I'm just done, right? This was my setup for the day. The next time I'm going to be looking is potentially around 6 p.m. or I might do London, or I might not trade for the rest of the day. It just depends on if momentum shows nice confluence and nice direction. Maybe after the daily opens, if we have a nice, potential candle, or, just a nice setup, then I might be looking to get in. Look at the daily, did the same thing. Look at this. It's not quite, I mean, it still was kind of like doji. It's just a little bit bigger, but look, it was a perfect reversal spotting. And that was off of a daily time frame. But look at this. Just continuation of momentum. Fake out. Huge fake out. Right? Another fake out off the daily. Right? Oh, it's going down. Nope, didn't. Fake out. Then it went down. This one ended up being very nice. Look how long this doji looking guy was. Very beautiful setup. And then tanked. Right? There's another one. So these are, I mean, it's not like it's not a common setup where price is throwing you these doji style candles, right? So this was my confirmation for bullish. And then when you wait a little bit, just for price to show you some more confirmation, we have our confirmation trend line. If you're into trend lines, let's see if we can just draw it up. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and close this down, edit it, make a little thumbnail to put inside this video of my entries. So anyways, thanks guys. Hope you enjoyed.